What's up, guys? Back in the garage today, working on the 2JZ Chevelle swap. Today, it's all about making the motor mounts. So we're gonna figure out how to make this 2JZ, this JDM motor fit up to an American V8 motor mount. So let's get to it. All right, so let me show you how I did this project start to finish. So what I did first is I started by cutting out some cardboard. Now I bought these plates here. They're already pre-cut. I bought them on eBay. Just time versus cost, it made total sense. They're like 30 bucks. So, and they're already pre-cut, pre-drilled, ready to go. Bought some bolts. So here's what I'm gonna do. So what I did was to start by just getting a rough shape with the cardboard. And I knew I wanted to make custom mounts because my first thought was to put some round bar here. But honestly, I didn't really like the way that looked. So what I did was I started thinking, well, I have this flat bar. So what I'm going to do is just going to go ahead and make some mounts like this. So I cut the first piece here. Now the second part is tricky because we got to go around the motor mount. So what I did was started the first piece here, and I went ahead and made this piece here. And I think that looks pretty good. I mean, for me. So what I did next was I went ahead and transferred this over to the flat bar, and then I went ahead and cut it out. Now you'll see I had to make some relief cuts, so of course we're gonna have to weld this, but it turned out pretty good. So I cut this out, bent it. Here's this piece. So then this is what it's gonna look like. And of course I'm going to, square it out with a piece on the top, but that's a pretty good start. I really like the way that turned out so far. So let's go ahead and get these welded up, get these corners tightened up, and then we'll go ahead and keep working on it. All right, so here's where we're at. So I got the brackets welded up. Still in rough shape because I haven't finished them off yet, but I think they turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with how they turned out. What we're gonna do now is I've cut this piece out of cardboard, and that's gonna really stiffen that up. We'll get that cut out, we'll get it welded up, and then this side will be done. All right, guys, here's a good look at it. We're almost done welding. Honestly, this is about as good as I got with my Harbor Freight flux core welder, but it's strong. They penetrate, so not too bad. Wish I could get it to lay a little flatter, but I'm not sure it's possible without gas. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this finished up and get ground and painted and put back on the car. Okay, so we got the passenger side mocked up. That was the easy side apparently because of this. There's way more in the way. So you'll see I've already taken out the factory oil cooler. That's gonna go. It was hitting the cross member anyways. So it had to go. So I'm gonna do basically the same thing on this side. Gonna replicate it, do some 1/4 inch plate. So stay tuned. All right guys, here's the final product. Turned out really, really nice. Went ahead and put some of that wrinkle black high heat paint on there. But really happy with the way this one turned out. I think the motor should be perfect. Plenty of room between the firewall. Sitting right where I want it. Here's where we're at with the other side. I'll finish welding that tomorrow. Essentially the same thing. I may put a brace here on this one. I'm not sure yet, but this one looks pretty good. Just gotta finish up the welds on this side and then we'll be done. So thanks for following along. Should have this done by this weekend, and then we'll get on to plumbing and wiring everything. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you haven't already so far.